everybody. We are back with Nutrition Episode 3, Unpasteurized Dairy. And one little note, if you're watching this and you have not watched Episode 2, Grass-Fed Beef, go back and watch that first, because it will definitely make this a little bit easier to understand.
Absolutely. So. Yeah. I mean, we talked a lot about cows and their diet and what they should be eating in that episode. So you really want to go back to that. But one of the big points that a lot of my clients, don't realize, just because it's been part of the food guide pyramid, and we've been taught 3 servings of dairy every day.
Yes.
But this is kind of newsflash to them that dairy really doesn't have to be part of your diet on a regular basis.
There's
a lot of people
easy ways to get other sources.
Absolutely. So a lot of people out there have sensitivities to dairy and they don't even know. And sometimes my clients even uncover this, while they're doing the program.
Yeah.
But it's big dairy is telling us that we need to be having this, but what people don't know is they can obtain the same vitamins and minerals from eating dark leafy greens.
Yes.
So the way that the cow is able to obtain calcium is through the dark leafy greens, being out on forage, and just eating the eating the grass. That's how they get it, and their body assimilates that, and then it goes into the milk.
Yes.
Which is why dairy has calcium in it. But honestly,
it's better to go straight to the source.
Right.
So same with us. To just go straight to those dark leafy greens is a great way to get that calcium and those vitamins and minerals in our daily diet.
Right. So if you're eating, lots of dark leafy greens, you should be able to, and honestly, the body assimilates that a lot easier in that format than it does with dairy.
Yes.
So,
and that goes into the fact of pasteurized versus unpasteurized.
Right.
So and a lot of you, that's a common question is, so why unpasteurized? Like, what does that mean?
Right.
But really, if we talk about what pasteurization is and what it does to the dairy, I think that makes more sense.
Absolutely. So what is pasteurization? So what they're doing is they're heating your milk up to a really high temperature, and it's meant to protect, especially if you
get rid of all the bad stuff.
Right. So it kills the bad stuff, but it also kills any nutrition that's in the milk. So if you're eating raw dairy, you're getting all of the nutrient dense value of the milk. But if you're eating, drinking pasteurized milk or using pasteurized dairy products, there's no nutritional value left unless it's been added back.
Right.
So
and then a lot of times when it's added back, you have to decipher, is it really, is it artificial or is it natural, and how did they add it in? And it's so much better to have it in its original form from the source rather than through any processed food or pasteurization process or anything.
Absolutely.
So it really does change the nutritional value.
That's right. And then the other thing that pasteurization does is the big proteins in milk, it changes the structure, it changes the conformation of the protein. And then when you ingest milk, your body sees that as a foreign body, and the immune system reacts to that. So some of the sensitivities to milk come from that pasteurization process. And you'll see an increase in mucus production, or maybe something on your skin, or it just the inflammation shows up in different aspects of the body.
Leaky
absolutely.
gut.
Major gut issues. I have clients that they when they start listening to their body, when they slow down and they actually start tracking their food and listening to their body, they uncover those sensitivities to dairy, and they're like, oh, I feel so much better without it, and there's just so many alternatives.
Well, and there's so many negative side effects, and when you really look at what dairy does, especially in as a young kid going up, so you'll see this progression of leaky gut issues and the chronic sinus and mucus production and ear infections and whatever the case may be, allergies, asthma. It acidifies the body, which if you guys know, through this program we're trying to get our body more in an alkaline state. Increases stress hormones, destroys B vitamin, all kinds of stuff. It really just doesn't, especially when it's pasteurized, it really just does not do good things for us. And so if we consume dairy, it really needs to be raw, unpasteurized dairy, which again, just like we talked about in episode 2, there really are tons of resources out there, local farms. or stores that support local farms, all kinds of stuff. So just find those resources, or ask us, or ask your health coach at wherever your location is, because if you really want dairy, there's ways to have it in a healthy way in small moderation.
Absolutely, yeah. So raw cheese, funding herd sharing programs to find raw sources of milk. Those things are out there, but you just have to tap into resources in your area.
So if you have questions, let us know.